tell you how to do this.
Man, cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out now. You know where you coming from? Where you coming from?
You gotta do some push-ups. 1, 2, 3. I'm in the combine.
This out calm down right here.
8, 20, 8, oh, ah, 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 and 1, and 2.
What he lifting? What he lifting? What's he lifting?
Oh my God! Even that's warm. Oh.
I'm just trying to figure out what he lifting.
Oh my God, man. Oh. Man. 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 What you doing, man? This is. Man, we like.
You see?
What's up, Bubbahead? What's up, Bubbahead? I know you got the pajamas on, boy.
I got to find out what y'all.
I got.
Hold on. Man, what you done did over there, man? Look at this, man. Look at this, man. Look at this, man. Lord, man. Ain't taking nowhere.
Man, what you... Man, turn the microphone on. What you waiting on?
You just sit back. Then you want to get you been gone 1 week, then you come back and want to get all new things, see?
What's the offering thing? Hey! That's a classic, though.
What you done did over there? You were fine with Rick was sitting there. What you do?
Man.
You get there and it fall apart. What you do?
Ain't no goddamn.
What you talking about?
Man, y'all don't know how to work no goddamn. Man, I don't.
What you doing, man? You gotta do all that. What you doing?
Bruh, I don't.
Just talk, man. The mic gonna pick you up. Talk.
I ain't
Loud
know.
as you
Is the
loud as
microphone
you
on?
Yes, it's on. Loud as you is, I guarantee you it's gonna pick
Is
you
the
up.
microphone on?
Go ahead.
Let me see. Test. Hey, man, did you turn on camera too? Man, you know what, bruh? You know what I'm gonna do? I don't even hear it. Why I don't hear it in the headphones, man?
That fella have to be back.
Why I don't hear it in the headphones, bruh? What?
That fella have to be back.
Man.
Look at
Man.
that.
Why I don't hear it in the headphones?
You hear it in the headphones.
All right, man. All right, man. All right, man.
That fella.
All right.
He have to be
All right.
back.
All right.
Look at that. See what I mean?
Man, boy, ain't been gone for 1 week, man. Man, I can't even describe it, man.
It's contagious.
No, I can't describe that, man. I'm like, 1 week, man. I was in Dallas last week. The show in Dallas was bananas, though, bro. The show in Dallas was bananas, man. It was like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, shoot, man. But you know what we got to do? You know how we do it on the day, man. Well, it's been a week, man. I don't remember how to start the show.
Oh,
How we start the show?
Coming to you live from.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me close my eyes. Wait a minute. Oh, I know.
How you doing?
I got a new one.
What's that? Oh.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening. Coming to you live. Welcome to the Daily Bread Radio Show. I'm your host, Raquel Thompson Sr. Coming to you live from
Liburn.
Little Burt.
Liburn.
LeBron. Did you say LeBron?
LeBron, that's the cousin.
Okay, LeBron, Georgia. Coming to y'all live from LeBron, Georgia,
LeBron Jordan. Both of
LeBron. What?
LeBron
Man,
Jordan.
go ahead, man. Let me finish with the introduction.
With a little bit of Kobe.
We got some new people that are joining for the first time. So for anybody that's joining for the first time, this show is about what?
Money.
Personal finance. All day, every day, Oh, this is episode 142. We've been doing it the same way, the same place, 142 times. So repetition is the key to success. We've done it 142 times. 142 times. So what we're doing is, on our show, for people that are joining for the first time, this show is about personal finance, and it's from a spiritual perspective. So what we mean by a spiritual perspective is we only do one thing on the Daily Bread Radio Show, and that's God. That's it. That's all we do on the Daily Bread Radio Show. And anything outside of that, religion, don't call us, don't text, don't email, don't cash out. I mean, you cash out. You cash out. $ I am Joaquin. Just, hey, make y'all donations there. We ain't never take a donation on the Daily Bread, so I don't take a donation.
Today's a good day to start.
Today is a good day to start. So if you got a donation, if you want to donate to the cause, I am Joaquin. You can't. Hey, that's about as simple as, I don't have one of them, like Super Friends or, I am G-Man #1. I don't have none of that. I am Joaquin.
Drop it in the
You
money.
cash up, drop it. Hey, whatever's on your heart.
Drop it in the money slot.
Whatever's on. I'm not telling you about tithing. I'm just saying whatever's on your heart, and whatever's in your pocketbook. Is that old?
That's old, bro. They don't say
Pocketbook. Where did that come? I ain't heard that one in a long time. Pocketbook. Anyway, whatever's on your heart, just hey, cash at me. But nah, man, it's just man, I don't know. It's undescribable. Just being away a week, let alone 2 weeks, and a lot happens in a week, though. I mean, just a bunch of stuff happening in a week. So, we got politics. We got, of course, the coronavirus. Everybody make sure you're washing your hands.
And use them soap.
So hopefully now that them cats who don't wash their hands start washing their hands. Because some cats, they ain't been washing their hands anyway. All right, so now they getting the double dose. You get the heebie-jeebies, and now hopefully they're washing their hands now. But hopefully all of this will be in order, and everything will be taken care of in due time. And other thing, politics. Got to touch on that real quick because people been saying, "Man, you don't talk." I'm like, I know it's, but from a politics standpoint, who's out and who's in? Elizabeth Warren
From a political standpoint.
out, huh?
From a political standpoint.
From a political, what does that mean?
You gotta see
Man, whatever, man. This is my show.
You have them out.
Right? This is my show. Oh. And we got them in the green room. We got the first lady in the green room.
First lady,
She
yep. That's it.
right over there. She can always, look, if you want to come on air, hey, you can come right up here. If you want to come up here and hang out with up here. But if you want to stay in the shadows, she right. She right.
Right we are.
Happy birthday to me.
So no, you. She in the studio. So it must be something special. 142. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, I get nervous when she in the studio. But Michael Bloomberg, 550. 500. Listen to this number, man. It's just so. It's the best in radio. $550 million in 10 weeks. $550 million. I didn't say 550,000.
Say it again.
550 million. That's $500 million that he put up for 10 weeks just to go on 2 debates and go through 1 primary.
And didn't win.
550 million. And then he came back and said, you know what? Man, y'all can have that. I endorse Joe Biden. You could have did. I'm like, bro, you could have gave me. Man, he could have gave me like.
$10.
No, not 10, bro. He could have gave me, at least $1 million. He could have did 549 million. Donated $1 million to the Daily Bread. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reach out to Bloomberg. What is that? Man, why is your phone tied into the TV show.
Hey, high tech, bro. Listen to the technology I just came out with.
Man, you need to cut your phone off, bro. What
It's supposed to stop when I did that.
hey, man, y'all, man. Anyway, he could have donated $1 million to the day.
Let me see it ringing.
What the heck is that?
That's the phone. I'm trying to figure out why it's still ringing. They should have cut off when I did that. Go ahead.
It's the best in radio. But yeah, he could have donated $1 million to the Daily Bread. We're a nonprofit organization, and then just he could have played around with them 549. He wasn't gonna do nothing anyway. Like, dang, I need to reach out to Bloomberg. I said, man, why don't you just donate $1 million to the Daily Bread radio show? I mean, we doing what? Educate, motivate, elevate. We doing what we supposed to do over here. Why don't you just do your part, man? So I see you, D. You gonna try to ease in it. You need to call me, man. Derek Sutton. You know, my partner in crime, man, another financial literacy brother. You need to come and be in this chair right here, man. You love to talk. You love to come on here. Don't stand in the shadows. Come up here. Come up. Or you can call us. Hey, 678
381
381
1973.
1973. I see you, D. Appreciate you joining, man. But yeah, it's just a lot of stuff going on in the world, man. So Elizabeth Warren is out.
Who she endorsed?
She, man, you know they gonna do that like what's the show? Paternity Judge. They gonna, instead of her just having a press conference and saying I'm out and I mean Michael Bloomberg already said I'm with Joe Biden. What'd she do? The girl's gonna have to wait another 4 more years, and everybody was waiting on the cliffhanger, and then she says, okay, that's it. And walked away. You know she's supposed to just go on and say who she endorsing, man. That's why we get in so much trouble with the Democratic Party. Everybody trying to, man, just say you with Joe Biden and keep it moving. Let's get a consolidated front, man. Like we ready, man, we got work to do, man. That man over there just, man, he like y'all playing around, bro. So I'm preparing myself, man.
Who you voting for?
I'm going
Okay.
But we
Okay.
we live, so I was like, oh man, I thought I was at home. I was like, I mean, oh man, who running? What's his name? Man, I almost said. But I don't know, man. I mean, shoot, man. I think some people quietly, I think some cats going in there when the curtain closed, they hurrying up and clicking Trump. I think that's what's happening, man. Joe was talking big noise outside the curtain. Yeah, man, we needed it. And when that curtain closed, Joe goes, and come out, man. I hope you don't win. I think that's what people are doing, man.
Hey.
I really think that's what people are doing.
So
What's
I
up?
just came across my Facebook feed, man.
What?
Contaminated cash may carry coronavirus.
Oh my gosh. Listen to this, man. Oh, come on, man. See, I mean, I wasn't gonna talk about this tonight, bro. I really don't want to. I really don't want to talk about it, man, because it's like, bro, we doing the most, man. Now, how, bro? Listen, man. Listen, man. Listen, man. This, I'm old enough to talk about this, so I wasn't gonna talk about this tonight. So we're gonna give it a couple minutes, right? Because I got some topics here I want to hit. But I'm gonna go and give it a couple minutes because I think right now it is a topic. So it's, you know, I guess it's timely that we talk about that. But let's think about this, bro. We had HIV and AIDS, right? We've had what else did we have? We had bird flu, right? And then we had the pneumonia strains, and then we had the double pneumonia, right? Because we came up with that. You know, with us, we can't just have pneumonia. You got to have the double pneumonia.
Got to do it big.
Right. We got the double pneumonia, and what else? I mean, and a bunch of other stuff. Man, nobody has ever contracted anything from no goddamn money. I mean, it's like, man, we really. I mean, this does remind me of like the '80s. Because one thing about us, as a people, and now when I say us as a people, I'm talking about Americans. If we don't know the answer to something, man, we go all the way to the other end of fear.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, now they saying, oh, okay, now the money you touching, it got the coronavirus. Bruh, it's no germ that we've ever come in contact with that's been on some currency. When has that been on some currency? I mean, when? Like, you couldn't get, but it's, the way people are talking about it, man, it really does. For people that are old enough, it reminds me of when AIDS first came out. I remember when the AIDS epidemic, when it first hit, and we didn't know what it was, and we didn't know how it was transmitted. We thought it was a gay disease, and all this. People was coming up with all kinds. Oh, you don't touch the doorknob. Oh, don't touch this. Don't touch. But I don't remember anybody having a confirmed case of, I contracted AIDS from the doorknob. I contracted AIDS from, drinking red soda. I contracted AIDS from whatever. I mean, it was later, years later. It's a body fluid and blood contamination. Okay, that you can get, but not no. I give you $1, now you got coronavirus. It's like, bro, viruses don't even. I've never seen a virus live on $1 bill. I mean, I'm just.
We got solutions, man. We got
I
solutions.
don't know.
I got the solution. Everybody just send me all their money.
Nah, man, ain't nobody gonna be. Man, ain't nobody gonna.
Listen,
man. Listen, man.
Send me the money.
Listen, man. This, like I said, this timely, so we're gonna go and talk about it. But I wasn't really gonna talk about it because I didn't want to give it no air. But my personal opinion, because it's the Daily Bread, I open every show we've had. Open every show 142 times this exact same way. How do I open the show? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, good evening again. I'm your host, Joaquin Thompson Sr., coming to you live from Lilburn, Georgia, or when we was in Snellville, Georgia, right? And then I go in and I tell people what? We don't do religion, we only do one thing. That's God. So, at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, man, if God is on your side, why they gonna close the school because we don't know. And I'm just sitting there. I mean, just me. I know I'm just one person. It's 350 million people in the United States, right? But I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, we got however number confirmed cases, right? If you took all of the people in the U.S. that since they done started reporting cases of the coronavirus, people being on cruise ships and can't get off, people being in Washington and they came from Italy, and take them same number of days and see how many goddamn people been murdered, died of cancer, right? Died of some other disease process. It's way more than that. I mean, like, man, way more than that. So I'm like, I'm just trying to manage the hysteria. Because I mean, like, you would be lying if you saying that people come on the news every 5 minutes. Oh my gosh, we found another case. Oh my gosh, we found another. You gonna find other cases because it's a virus. It's just like a pneumonia or anything else, and it may turn into something catastrophic. And you may look back at this show and be like, man, I remember dogs on the end, take it serious. Okay, it could be, but even at that point in time, I think, man, at the end of the day, we should close our eyes, man, and ask God for protection, right? Do what's prudent and ask God for protection. Because other than that, if you want to be exposed, you already exposed. You exposed now. Like, okay, we exposed. We just, okay, drove out here in the car. We exposed. So if it's going to be the plague, or are you going to avoid it? The truth of the matter is this. If it's already been in his will, if it's God's will, if this is his will, right? Because I was like, oh man, these people, man, we shut the schools down in Italy. We doing this, we doing that. Nobody can go to a soccer match. But listen, I'm gonna just show you how crazy that is, right? They say, okay, the soccer teams in Europe and in Italy they're gonna go ahead and play the match, right? So the soccer teams and the people that's affiliated with the soccer teams, the coaches, the trainers, all of them, they come to the stadium and they play the match, right? But it's nobody in the stands, right? Because they like, oh, we concerned about. But you got 24 people running up against, running into each other. Ain't none of them got on no masks. Ain't none of them got on no gloves. And it's 25 for having, they running around. So if it was really, I'm like, why would I come to the arena? If you close the arena because you want to make sure that people don't come and we want to help contain it, why am I going to run out there and I'm running into some other joke from another country? I don't know. He from Yugoslavia. Why am I going to do that if I'm really concerned about it? So I'm just like, man, it's just, like I said, for the people that are old enough, man, some people are too young to remember the hysteria that when AIDS came out in the late 80s and the early 90s, it was, man, people was going bananas, man. They were going bananas. They were going bananas, and the only thing that kind of calmed people down, they said, oh, it's a gay disease. Oh, I ain't gay. And then when Magic came out, they was like, oh, shoot. Man, it ain't no gay disease. It's a slinger's disease. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you know what I'm saying? It's like, but right now, man, it's so much. In the news, to me, they making it worse.
Yeah.
Because every 5 minutes, oh, we found another one. And we gonna quarantine him. And oh, it was a kid. And he was even at homeschool. This was in Georgia. He was even homeschooled. So people are like, well, where he get it from? Like, we don't know. He could have, who knows, man? I think the most for me, I'm gonna say it like this. When I went to church Sunday, and I don't know exactly which passage, but I know what it does say, and that was part of the sermon on Sunday. And I'm gonna say it like this: me and mine, in my house, I can't speak for me and mine. We gonna praise the Lord.
There you go.
That's it. Me and mine. Hey, I hope they ain't my daughter on here. You know, my son on here. My wife right over there. My youngest daughter, she working, just getting off from work. So, me and mine in my house, we gonna praise the Lord. Yes. So I don't know. We got to go get the bucket of juice and put over the door. like the Pentecost with the little. So I don't know. We gonna have to go get a sheep and slaughter it. Hey.
That's your question.
Man, don't take over the show, man. Ask me all these questions, man.
Ask you one question. I want to see what you think.
All right, what I think? Go ahead.
They saying to wear the mask, right?
They said what?
Wear the mask, and they're supposed to help fight the coronavirus.
Right.
The masks are made in China, where the coronavirus came from.
Look, man. See what I'm saying? Man, see, y'all doing the most, bruh. Y'all doing the most. Now you talking about the mask come from China.
The mask are made.
Did they wear the mask? They ain't wear the mask when they sent them over here, did they?
But they still gotta make them. They
They
came from
made
the same
them.
place that the coronavirus come from.
No, man, them jokers in China, boy, they showed them. They showed them.
They make the mask.
Man, they showed them cats out. Them cats in China, like, they like, we got something for y'all. They had the whole, like, you go to the mall and buy an outfit. You remember you go buy that jumpsuit? Boy, them jokers there had that mug, boy, like head to toe with some duct tape around that mug, a respirator, some earmuffs, something else, a shield. I said, oh, heck no, ain't nothing getting through that. Ain't nothing getting through that, man, and then go home and take it all off and then get contaminated. Go home. You know what happened? Yep. They have on the hazmat suit. And I know this is a gospel show. This is a gospel, spiritual show. Bible right here. But I'm just speaking truth, right? I'm just speaking truth. You know what I'm saying? The man been at work all day. He got the hazmat suit on, right?
All day long.
Gloved up. He got the duct tape around the shield. He's sweating on the inside. All of this happening. Can't nothing get in there while he at work. But when he leave, he go through 2 or 3 decompression showers, right? He get out the hazmat suit, go home. What happened? Get contaminated.
Just like that.
Just like that, man. Stop off, get a couple beers, and the dude at the beer spot, hey John, hey, glad to see you. Hey, have a good evening. Bam. Now he contaminated.
And nobody better not sneeze.
God dang. See, that's me and mine, man. So I'm gonna leave it there, man. I don't know. I'm hoping that you know, that again, God's will. I'm hoping God's will just give people peace, man. Because you don't want people to get, man. Because when we get anxious, man, when we get antsy, and if you leave it up to us to figure it out, man, we gonna come up with some stuff, bruh. Now it's on a dollar bill. Now you can't eat the chicken. Now you can't go out to dinner. Now you can't. I mean, me personally, I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people want to shake your hand. People say, hey, how you? I'm like, hey,
man,
I don't know you. Like, you might got the corona. But it's like, I don't know, man. So I just, that one, man, I'm out of my league on that one, man. And I'm a scientist. I'm a microbiologist. I just, you know, like I said, man, I've studied that stuff. I'm going to school and studied microbiology. You know what I'm saying? You know, microbes and gram-negative rods and gram-positive cocci and, you know, Pseudomonas, E. coli, Staphylococcus aureus. I studied that stuff, man, but I'm still like, I'm out of my league when it comes to, because you don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, me personally, again, I'm thinking like it could be some kind of population control type deal.
That's what I said last week.
Right? It could be. I mean, because really, man, when you think about it, and we laugh and joke about certain things, but certain things that we joke about, it could be some truth to it. And I'm gonna give y'all. I know y'all don't think I'm tripping, but since we already there, y'all, hey, we all family. I'm gonna just go there. Have you noticed the number of? Now I know a lot of people on from Florida, but I'm saying in Georgia. Specifically in Georgia. Have you noticed the number of crab places that have been opening up?
Crab places.
Crab, juicy crab.
Yeah.
The juicy crab, the juicy crab with butter, the juicy crab with crawfish, the juicy crab. And I'm like,
And the juicier.
so me and my wife we was laughing and talking like, wait a minute, man, wait, just the sheer, and then when you go, it's like an hour and a half to get in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, wait a minute now. Where are all these crabs coming from? Like, how many? It's just who can harvest this many crabs? Like, where do they? It's just, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't even see this many places like this in Florida. I'm from Florida. I ain't never seen nothing like this, man. It's like the juicy crab, and we ain't in no water. So I'm like, are y'all shipping in that many crabs every day? But they starting to pop up everywhere because it's a good business model. People making a ton of money. But I'm like, I don't get it. I don't know where they're getting all them crabs from. They probably getting them from where?
Alaska.
China.
I try to be nice.
And they got the coronavirus.
Yes, I try to be nice. See?
So, I'm just saying, man, I don't know. I mean, it's instead of driving yourself crazy, I was like, you know, my whole thing is like, be prudent, protect yourself, because it's no telling where this is gonna go. But hopefully it'll burn out, and we'll get through it. You know, because when they start talking about quarantines and all that, it gets like in the movies, like Outbreak. You know, the monkey got loose and bit somebody, and all of a sudden people in pandemonium. So that's what I'm hoping for, man. I'm hoping. Boy, when we gonna get a real live studio, bro? Like when we, you know what I'm saying? The microphone's still toppling over, man. They don't do this on BET.
BET will never do it.
You know what I'm saying, man?
BET
When I'm on BET, man, I don't never have to worry about being on Tavis Smiley. And people like, what the heck?
Tavis Smiley went out of business.
Tavis Smiley ain't go out of no business. Out of what business?
On BET, he did.
See, you about to make me say something that I ain't want to say. I didn't want to say it because it's a spiritual show.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say it in my mind, but I'm not gonna say it out my mouth. How about that? You know what I'm saying? What's up, man? That's my master barber right there. Look.
Oh, he did that for you?
What? That's my master barber, man. Hey, Anthony Gilbert. Hey, club barbershop. You know what I'm saying?
Top shelf.
Oh, come on, man. I joke. Look, if you could cut a joker, If you could cut a joker head with no hair,
If he could cut that,
you know you're a bad man when you could cut a joker head with, you could give a fade to somebody with no hair. You a bad, you got to be a bad person when a joker could sit in the chair and you could just sit there and manipulate a bald head. And then, here's the funny part, look, when I finish, man, you know what he say? I be getting ready to get up, right? He had you know how you had a thing around your neck? I be getting ready to get up. He said, wait. And I be like, oh, damn, what happened? What happened? He said, I'm like, I be getting ready to get up. He said, hey, wait. I said, what? I was like, what happened? I think he got it. I think he said, shh. He put some balling shine on my head, man. He won't let me get out the chair without the balling shine. So shout out to my man. You know what I'm saying? That's love, man. 20 years in running, man. 20 years in running. So if y'all enjoyed it, man, go by Club Barbershop, man. Get y'all scalp. Get a fade scalp or something like that. But he a master barber, man. And I know we jumping all over, man. We didn't went to, I had some topics, but I got to put this out there too, man.
Let me hear you.
Listen, one thing I can say about this brother here, man, all jokes aside, it's a difference between going to a barber and a master barber.
Yes, sir.
You ever been to a barber?
Yeah, he ain't doing that.
You ever been to a barber and the joker, you get in the chair, and the joker grab the clippers, right? He not even, you know what I'm saying? A master barber is like, got like technique.
Yeah.
You ever been in the chair where a joker grab the joker coming at your head like this, and then just start goddamn
Plucking you.
Joker just, and you jumping, he like, what you jumping for? You like,
Be still.
I'm like, oh man, I can't, hey man, I appreciate that brother there, man. I'm talking about them jokers go to, like you said, plucking your head, you jumping, what you jumping for? I'm like, bro, you got done, I don't know what you're doing to my head, man, but yeah, man, I'm saying that to say it is a difference, man. Somebody who's working on their craft, who's passionate about their craft, it's a big difference, bro. Big difference, man. So shout out to Anthony. But tonight, man, I want to talk about I had a couple things I wanted to talk about. I know we got about 20 more minutes, but a few things I want to talk about. One, since we talking about all of this stuff, one of the things from a financial literacy standpoint that came to my mind, one of the first things with this whole, everybody is concerned about this, whatever's going on with this virus. One of the first things I thought about, man, was just having access to capital, man. I mean, because if we go down that path, it's almost like a ripple effect. Like the people at Facebook, they have the option to work at home. So Facebook, Google, a lot of tech companies, they say, hey, y'all can work at home. But if this thing continues on, man, and you know what I'm saying, people, like when they said in Italy, they closing schools. See, a lot of times, man, people listen to the front story or what people call in media, the lead story, but don't never think about the back story. So let's think about this. If all of the schools in Italy, right? If all of the schools in Italy, think about this now. We're talking about a country. We're not talking about a state, right? If all the schools are closed, what's going on with the cafeteria lady? What's going on with the cafeteria lady? The guy that help, the administrator at the school, the guy or the young lady that help, keep things clean and orderly, the teachers, right? We already talking about teachers' pay, right? The teachers, the bus drivers. What's going on with what's going on with the crossing guard, right? The little guy, the little young lady that's helping people cross the street. The school closed. So do they get paid when the school closed? No, they don't get paid. Are they gonna be able to go on a leave? No, they're not gonna be on a leave because then the people who administer the leave, they're like, you're not on leave, the school closed. They're like, but I need some money. You ain't on no leave, so you can't get no leave check. Well, you gonna get short-term disability? No, you're not disabled. So we're like, what happened with what about all the people who work in all the other auxiliary things that go along with a school, right? People have businesses that's tied to schools. What about, okay, well, we don't need nobody for that. What about the people that in the Northeast or some part, they shovel the snow to make sure the kids can get to school. What about, we don't need you. We don't need you. But if I'm saying all that to say, my hope is that from the Daily Bread perspective is that whatever we had coming in, and we've been talking about this for 3 years, whatever we had coming in, hopefully we've been, and I know everybody, it's tight for it's tight for me. I ain't gonna be in front, be like, I'm like, no, it's tight, right? But even when it's tight, that's my hope is like that people don't just get into, man, just a serious, desperate situation because we had nothing set aside. We had nothing to set aside. And that's really where the panic started to creep in, because then these companies, mortgage company, electric company, you think the electric company in Italy, like, okay, the school closed, we don't want your electric payment. We don't want your gas payment. We don't want your car payment. We don't want your insurance payment. The schools are closed. No, people don't care. No, people don't care, man. I don't think people really realize the magnitude when something like this hits. Like in 2008, man, people was hurting, bro. That was one of the driving forces for me even starting the show, man. I saw firsthand how it's a lot of people that still haven't recovered from 2008. They never made it back from that. There's some people out here that still got houses underwater from 2008. They house still underwater from 2008. But people, it ain't the lead story no more. So people kind of forgot about it. Like, yeah. So I'm just, that's one of the things I want to talk about, man, is like, I don't know if this is the time, but I think it's always a good time to start putting some things in place where you like, if I make $10, I'm putting one away. If I make $10, I'm putting one away. Just to give me a little bit of something, because you might only need like a breath or two, and then things come back, like, okay, I'm making some money again. But, so that's my hope, man, is that we don't get into that type of situation in the U.S. Because when you start, closing schools, you start closing offices, you start, man, I ain't even gonna talk about the single moms out here, bruh. The single, man, I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing. They don't need no more nothing on their plate, bruh. They don't need no more nothing on their plate. Especially not being home all day with no goddamn. They don't want to be home all day with no kids. I mean, just think about it, man. That's what I'm saying, man. That's the lead story. The schools are closed. But even in Italy, what about the single moms in Italy, right? You a single mom, you got to go to work, but the school's closed. Who gonna keep the kids? Who gonna keep the kids? How you gonna make money? I got to go to work. I don't have no work at home job. I work at the whatever. I got to go to the. Who gonna keep the kids? Grandma, grandpa. Like, nah, everybody tripping. Oh, no. So I'm like, man, that's why I said, man, I'm just praying. My prayer is for, peace, just for God to step in, man, and just make this whole thing to just be peaceful, bro, because like I said, man, a lot of times people read the lead story, they read the headline, but that backstory is real, man. That's where you see it really going down at, man. And I don't want anything else to come to anybody about anything. What's all these bells and stuff, bro?
It's a timer.
Man, stop playing. Why are you playing games when we on
It's a timer.
It's a nationally televised show.
It's a timer.
All right, but that was one of the things I want to talk about was just savings, man. And it's really for times like this, because you never know. And I think that's what happens sometimes when we talk about savings. People are like, oh, I'm gonna get around to it. Oh, I'm gonna get around to it. Oh, as soon as I get some more money, but no, you're supposed to be saving. You're supposed to be saving when times are good. When you, you should be like, ooh, putting a little money over there. Ooh, hey, everybody doing that. You be like, all right, you putting your little money over there, putting your little money away. Like, oh, shoot. But then when something come up and it gets serious, at least you got a little, like, boom, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just hard, man. And the only thing I'm trying to do is get people to just just think about it like that, man. Just think about it like that. I mean, we done been through enough things, and it's more things to come. I mean, like old people used to tell me, man, just keep living, right? Just keep living, right? We done went through the HIV and AIDS. We done went through the 2008, and we was already headed towards a recession anyway. You know what I'm saying? All of the data was saying that. Even if we wasn't headed to a recession, they was gonna put us in one, right? The man was gonna put us in one because why? It's time, right? Everything has a cycle. This is Daily Bread. I'm gonna give it to y'all straight. Everything runs a cycle. So once you done ran it up, right, and it starts stalling out, it's time to bring it back down, right? So you need a recession for that. So everything, so the money can come out of stocks, go into bonds. What happens when money goes into bonds? When money goes into bonds, guess what happens? Interest rates goes down, right? Bond rates go up, interest rates go down. What does that mean? That means more people can do what? Start spending. Like what? Buying houses, right? Mortgage rate go down. This is the perfect time to refinance. What happens when you refinance? Money is starting to be generated. So you start the whole cycle up again, and then they bring you back from the bottom, and then we go back up again. And the people who already had money at the top, right? They move it. They get into a cash position. Cool. Wait for it to go down. Then when everything go down, they say, shoot, cool. I'm gonna buy, matter of fact, I'm gonna buy 1 million shares at this point now. And let it ride, come on back up. But they ain't going nowhere. But you gotta be aware. I mean, that's all this is. This shows are just about awareness. You know, I was talking to somebody last week, and they was like, why are you doing it? What you be trying to get? What's your objective? I said, my objective is, I only got one objective. To enlighten people to the point where when you leave this show, number one, I want you to take action. I don't want you to listen to the show. Don't text. I didn't say this minute. Don't text, tweet, call me, say nothing, send a like, and don't take no action. Like I would rather you take action and don't even, whatever, right? That's my number one. Just take some action, because the stuff that I'm giving to you, I'm gonna be honest, it ain't me. There's no way I could come up with. How could I come up with 140 hours of just content? This is God. This is God working through me. That's all this is, man. There's no way I could come up with this kind of stuff. It's virtually impossible for me to come up with this stuff where it resonates with a person, and that's all I want. I want people to take action. And if you don't take action, when you turn off the podcast or you listen to the show ends, I want it to at least resonate with you where you're like, damn, you know what, maybe we do. Oh, that's I'm saying for it. Baby, maybe we do need to. Huh? Yeah. What'd you say? Save more. What'd you say? Yeah. So I want it to be like that. So at least it'll resonate with you. That's all I wanted to do, man. Is so that way we can do what? Educate, motivate, elevate, and just improve our well-being.
Come on.
What's up, man?
Tell them.
Oh man, I thought somebody you over there playing the phone, but number to the show 678-381-1973, and that's the only reason I do it. I'm gonna keep doing it. I can't. Now I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie, man. I had this thought. I said, what if I didn't do the show? I said, what if? It's true, man. I mean, the thing about my audience, I mean, y'all done gave me so much confidence in doing this kind of stuff, man. I'm just like, I could just be transparent, like I'm with family. But I did think about that. I was like, what if I didn't do the show, right? Like, what if I didn't do the show? What if I just said, you know what, man? It's done ran its course. It's done did what it's supposed to do, right? We done did what we supposed to do. We did our part, right? And I stopped doing it. Like the question I had in my brain, like way in the back of my brain, you know what I was thinking to myself?
What are you thinking to yourself?
Would it matter? Like, would it matter? Like, would something happen in the universe? I ain't talking about no, trivial stuff like, I ain't on Facebook no more. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about, would it matter? Like, would it matter in the universe, in the world? And you know what I came to? I was like, you know what? It would matter. You know what I'm saying? It would matter. And the reason it would matter is this. it would be one less voice. Because I consider the stuff that I put out into the world is a counterbalance, right? Because you got to have balance in life. What I'm putting out is a counterbalance to all of that negativity. It's just negativity all over the place. People talking about that's old fashioned. Things like got their respect, things like integrity, things like got their honoring your word, things like doing what you say you're gonna do, right? I mean, and then being transparent about it, right? I feel like this show is a counterbalance. I was talking to a guy this week about my TV show. He asked me, he said, what do you, I don't know why they asked me. Cause I'm like, I done told him. The same producer asked me, he said, what do you think about your TV show? I said, man, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you like I told you the first day. I'm a superstar. I said, I'm a superstar. I said, the only difference between me and some of them other people y'all call quote unquote a superstar, exposure. I say, so that's your job to get me in front of 1 million people. If you get me in front of 1 million people, I guarantee you, I'm good 70%. Probably more like 90%, but I'm gonna be humble and say 70. 70% of the people that would see my show or look at this, they're gonna be like, yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, that's a good show. I could be wrong, right? But the thing I measure it by is and it's the same thing that I tell my kids, and this is how I measure success in doing things. People say in 2020, the time span, the attention span of the average person is less than a minute. Meaning, when we see something, we like, that's why so many people just scrolling through stuff, flipping through social media on the phone, check your phone 1,500 times, this, that, and other. So I told the lady this, I said, look, if I do a podcast and it's 60 minutes, and out of that 60 minutes, I get a person to come on, they might have caught the first 10 minutes, they dropped off. Then somebody caught 15 in the middle and then dropped off. Then somebody caught the last 10 minutes and dropped off. Is that successful? Yeah. That's 1,000 times better than a minute. You watched it for 10 minutes. The show is 60 minutes, you watched 10 minutes. Now what does that say about the person that watched it for 30 minutes? So it ain't got to be 1 million people. If you got one person to watch, that one person, they got the same attention span as everybody else, right? So if I can get them to watch something for 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, a minute, right? Bruh, that means it's successful. You just have to get it in front of more people, right? Just more people. I'm going to give you a perfect analogy. My wife and I used to own a bakery. This is a true story. My wife and I used to own a bakery. We owned it for 11 years, called Amazing Cakes, all right? And we were located, what we call in a working class neighborhood. Like we were located on a Moncrief type of area, right? And then there was other bakeries in other areas, other parts of town. You know, people like that, they like to go Buckhead and, you know, Midtown and all these other places, right? They had access to capital. We started ours with just what we had. We started what we had, and we just put everything that we could into it. Now, we did a bunch of different cakes, but there's one particular cake. It was a red velvet. Let me tell you something, man. We had a lot of ups, a lot of downs. We had a lot of crying. We had a lot of fights, like fist fights. You gonna put that cake in the oven. I'm like, I'm tired doing that. I'm ready to go home. My feet burning. You gonna put that cake in the oven. You know, you ever had a joke hit you in the back of the head? You like, you know what I'm saying? One thing somebody hits you like in the face, but you ever got hit in the back of the head? Like, put that guy. Like, God. So we done had them kind of, these are true stories. We done had fights where it was like, my wife was so mad at something, she got there and took the bowl and threw it like this, and it was like a streak that went up to the ceiling and down the wall, right? And guess what? It was up there for the rest of the time we was in there. So when people walked in, they looked. You go in and look around like, what happened right there? Man, don't worry about what you want to get. I'm telling you. We couldn't even get up there and get it down. That was like a blood splatter. But every time we walked in, we saw that. But just to stay on point, I'm gonna just tell you about greatness, right? Listen to this. So the time came, we said, okay, we're gonna go ahead and sell what we need to sell off, and then we're gonna close, right? So we closed in 2015, right? We closed, like doors closed, bam. No more Amazing Cakes. We took the sign down, damn. Took the up, sold all the stuff off, bam. Okay. Now we closed. We are closed. We're closed. A year after we was closed, people was calling. Hey, I don't mean to call your cell phone, but I was scrolling through it. I found your number somewhere. Can you do me a red velvet cake? Can you do me a red velvet cake? No, I'm not doing no cake. Can you please? Okay, I'll do one. Year 2, people was calling. Year 3, people was calling. Year 4. I'm talking about 2019. We closed in 2015. 2019, people still calling. I just need one more. Can you just give me one? They were doing like Pookie. Just give me one. Just give me one. Just one. You remember? No, I'm talking about Pookie on New Jack City. Remember he was looking into the belt buckle that was got there camera. He was like, just give me one more. Just man, 2020. This is 2020. This is a true story. We closed in 2015. 2020. People going through my kids, people going through friends, people going on Facebook, people going on Instagram. Where you been at? I see you post something. Yeah, give me one. You 5 years after we closed. But while we was open, people didn't believe, oh yeah, y'all pretty good. Yeah. Oh, it's pretty, yeah, it's all right, it's pretty good. But now that it's gone, and people that went around, right? I can get this anywhere. And it went over there, and went over there, and came back over here. You can get a cake, you can't get this cake, right? So that's how I feel about my show, man. It's like, yeah, it's David Letterman's and Steve Harvey's and whoever, name some more people, and them. But guess what? They ain't got this. This? They ain't got this. I promise you they ain't got this. So, like I always say, when that time comes, and I'm on BET or I'm on CBS or NBC or ABC or OWN or whatever, whatever the next progression is, then it's going to be the same show. It's going to be enlightening. It's going to be, and we're going to keep doing it. Because this show, so when he asked me that, like, what do I think about my show? Man, I'm a superstar, bro. Because I'm helping people and I'm giving them something that can, that's good for the spirit, right? Not no foolishness, not nobody twerking for 2 hours. Like, man, after about the first 10 seconds, you're like, oh, wait a minute. Because you gave it, at first you're like, I have some foolishness. But I'm like, man, it's just, that's what I do, man. And I love it. I love it, man. I love it. So I don't think I can never get too old because I ain't got to do a lot of jumping around. I just, sit here and give y'all the word. So that's what it is, man. And the book of the week. I always talk about the book of the week. This book, man, I was thinking like, what book should I bring to the show tonight? And this one is a classic, man. Look at this Bible. Look, bruh, this has been taped up. I had to, put some surgery on this one, man. It's just that good, bruh. This book, if you don't have this book in your library, I would say go to Amazon. You could probably pick up a copy now for probably about $7, $8. But this book, this will change your life. Think and Grow Rich. It's some stuff in this book, man, will blow your mind. And the reason I know it'll blow your mind is because this book was written in the early 20th century, in the early 1900s, right? When it was first published. And 1937, Napoleon Hill. But this book, this one right here, if you don't have it, man, I challenge you Man, this is what I call a guarantee book. You could do this book like this. You could thumb through it. Any page you stop at. Step one. Step one towards riches. What's the first step? Desire. 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 Guess what step two is? No way. What he said, you have to create no way to retreat. You have to create no way to retreat. You have to create, what did I just talk about last week? Burn your boats, not your bridges. Not the people, but burn your boats. So when you look back, it's like, man, it ain't no way. I gotta make it. I don't have no choice. If I don't make it, it's just, I have no choice. I don't have no recourse. So take all your other options away and then see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Make it tight on yourself. Make it stressful on yourself. Make it hard on yourself. Don't let somebody else make it hard for you. Make it hard for yourself and see what kind of stuff you produce. You know, God would do some things to help you too, like take away some of them things that you was kind of like used to. You know, he'll take that away and say, okay, now do something. Now you produce your own, you produce the money, right? You produce, you know, the roof over your head. You produce the life you want to do. You focus and depend on me. Don't depend on that and them people, right? So this book, this one, come on, D, I'm a man, come on, man, you my big brother. Stay encouraged. Really? Bruh, you know how far we go back? Stay encouraged. Come on, man. I ain't never, ever failed at anything that I really wanted to do. Now, there's some things I could have done better. And some things that I've been equipped to do that I know I could have done better. But just full transparency, it could have been lack of courage, lack of confidence, lack of whatever in different areas. But anything, and I mean anything in my life that I ever said, you know what? I want that. And I mean, when I say I want it, if I say I want it, I'm going to have it. Whatever it is. Like this joker right here. I seen her, we was at Reebok in 84. She was working in the guidance council office. I said, God, dang, who is that? They said, who? That girl there, that new girl. Who is that? I said, man, I don't know. But guess what I said? I got to have her. I said, I got to have her. Guess what? Now I done had her 30 years.
You talking about you?
I said, I got to have her. Look, I'm going to tell y'all a quick story. This is high school, and this is true. These all, hey, here go a Bible right here. Look, my hand on the Bible. Bruh, my hand on the Bible. Do you know, when I say I got to have something, man, do you know how far I would go? I was in high school. This is a true story. My wife she was a grade ahead of me, right? Madam was kicking or whatever. I said, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to skip school. Listen to this now. I said, I'm going to skip school, and guess what I'm going to do? I got to have her. She got to come skip too. I said, what am I going to do? I said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to call the school. Listen to this now. I was I'm lying. I was 17 years old. This is what I did. And went to the school. This is what I did. I called my school. I called my high school, Gene Ribault High School on Winton Drive. They answered the phone. These are people that, I was a student there. The lady answered the phone. I said, yes, this is Mr. Alford. And I was trying to get my daughter. I needed to have her checked out of school. They said, what? I said, yeah, can you go to her classroom? I need to speak with her right away. It's an emergency. They said, oh, please hold. I said, okay. They put me on hold, bruh. Listen to this. This is a true story. Put me on hold. They went and got her out of class. Brought her to the phone. She got on the phone. Hello? I said, hey. She's like, what? Because they had told her, your dad is on the phone. Her dad's in Philadelphia. She hadn't even heard from him. She said, oh, my dad. She knew. It was like, what the hell? She got on the phone and said, hey, look, I'm going to tell him I need to check you out.
I did not say
I said, what'd you say? Okay, you there? You was there. What did you say?
I didn't skip.
What did you do? I ain't say you skipped. I said, what did you do?
I stayed in class.
Oh, you stayed in class. Look at it. Why you stayed in class? She was scared. Did I call up there?
Oh yeah.
Did I call them? Did they come get you out of class?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Now, if you scared to come on out, that's on you. But when I get something in my mind, whatever I get in my mind, if I say I want it, bro, I'm trying to tell you, man. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing, man, that I won't do. It ain't nothing without harming somebody. Without harming somebody. That's the only thing I won't do. I will never harm, maim, demean, step on some. I won't never do that. But if I want something, I'll call up to that school and say, hey, go and get my daughter out of class.
Let's go.
17 years old, bud. So Derek, you know how I am, big brother. And I'm gonna keep doing. I can't stop. I can't stop.
Yeah, that's put the music on him.
Look at this, man.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah, keep going.
Look at this, man.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Is this
Your thing stop right here.
what?
Your thing stop right here.
Man, did you stop?